To laugh at things is really, I think, what everyone should be doing.
I basically treat the first day in an Airbnb like the first 10 minutes of an escape room. I absolutely love getting to look for all the host stuff. Original artwork, but Sports Direct mugs, they're an enigma.
When I see something, my first thought is always like, oh, you could do a joke about that, or you could do a bit about that.
I've always wanted to get either a therapist or a personal trainer. And now I can afford one of them, and I've gone with a personal trainer, because I know it's not cool to say, but I'd rather be depressed with abs. That's the choice.
It's just how I process real life in real time. My name's Stuart McPherson, and I'm a stand-up comedian. I'm really excited about the Fringe being back. Everyone's kind of recalibrating, I think, and relearning how to do a show. It just feels like the centre of the universe when you're here. I know it's ridiculous. It's like school for comedians, mixed with Disneyland. Yeah. I'd always absolutely loved comedy, like since I was tiny, you know, watching sitcoms and then stand-up. I was obsessed with it. There was a TV show that the BBC were making it's like a sketch show about the independence referendum. And I submitted sketches to that, and like a bunch of them got on, and that was really cool, and that gave me the confidence to sort of try stand-up. I remember reading in, I think it was in Frank Skinner's book, he spoke about how he just thought about doing stand-up so much that if he didn't at least give it one go, that he couldn't live with himself. So I kind of got to the same point, which is quite grandiose when you're like 21 or 22, you're like, well, it's now or never, you know. So yeah, I used to come through and see Fringe shows when I was a teenager, and I was really into stand-up. And then when I started stand-up in like 2015, I started coming to the Fringe every year in some capacity, so you sort of start doing just like wee 5-10 minute slots of different gigs, and then 2019 did my first full run, and I think it's going to be like this from now on, I think. So my show this year is called The Piche, but it's what I call my alopecia. I've got alopecia areata. Basically, I tell the story of I was on a stag do last year, and I was made aware that I had a bald patch in the back of my head that I had no idea about. We're watching the football. It's during the Euros, England are playing, it's the quarterfinals, England are winning. We're a bunch of Scottish lads at this table outside in this beer garden. My friend Chris misses England's final goal in the quarterfinal, and as he's doing so, he taps me on the shoulder, and I turn around and I miss the goal as well. And he says to me, he goes, Stu, have you got alopecia? And I was like, no. What? And then he takes a photo of the back of my head, and he shows me it, and yeah, sure it is. I've got like a bald patch in the back of my head, like the size of a beer mat. I had no idea. Creeping up on behind me like a coward. Had no idea. At the time, I mean, the long story short is, Chris missed England's last goal because I'm going bald. That's, as a man, as a Scottish man, probably the worst moment of my life, I've got to say. England are winning and I'm going bald. When it rains, it pours. It's kind of about loss, my show, but that makes it sound quite sad, whereas it's just a funny show. There's loads of jokes. It's not sad, but I like to think there is some sort of depth to it, and there's, you know, it's thoughtfully put together. At the GP's, like 2 weeks later, back in Glasgow, I think that I'm going to get it fixed. I think I'm going to get some pills or something, but I swear to God, the doctor just takes one look at my head, and she goes, just wait and see what happens. The laughs is the main thing, but there are a couple of moments of pause in the show, and I like to think that people leave having laughed a lot and maybe thought a little. My show's at Monkey Barrel Comedy, and yeah, they've been really, really good to me. They've been such a huge supporter of me, and I really appreciate having them in my corner. It's just the best place to be at the Fringe, I think. I know it's convenient for me to say because I'm with them, but it feels like they're kind of taking over the town a little. It feels a bit like getting signed by Man City in like 2008 or something. It feels like this is what's going to be the future. I really believe in my show and I'm very proud of it, and I really enjoy doing it, and I think people can tell. It's just so much fun to be back doing, you know, your own show for an hour with your name on the ticket, and people come to see you and you chat to them after and they've had a great time. It's a really amazing feeling, you know. Ultimately, as a stand-up, I'd love to be the kind of act that people seek out at the Fringe, and they'd be interested to see what I've come up with this year. And so hopefully that's happening and it's turning, and people are going to come back every year and see what I'm up to. Thank you very much for coming. Hakuna Matata. Thank you.